Today's project is we're going to make this thing, instead of running on batteries, we're going to make it so you can plug it into the wall. Should be pretty easy. Yeah, we'll figure out where the power and ground is on this. This is going to be 4.5 volts. Each battery is 1.5 volts, so 3, 4.5. So we'll figure out which is power and ground on this. Oh, nice. And now we have this inverter that we can switch between 3 volts, 4 up to 12. So we're going to use the 4.5 volt setting. We are going to cut this wire, figure out which is power and ground, and then splice the two together. So let's get started. All right, so before we plug this in, let's cut this off. Because who needs that anyways? You're done. Now we're going to split this. Got her on the 4.5 volt setting. Make sure those aren't touching. Alright, let's do 20 volts on our scale. I'm gonna say. Now we're gonna be able to tell if it shows the negatives, we have them backwards. So here, let's show.
Ooh.
Okay,
All right.
So that means. Let's switch them real quick. Okay, so there's our positive 4. So that means this red one, this is our hot. So we'll kink that one over so we know. Okay, so that's our power. We'll get rid of that.
Probably unplug it.
Let's unplug it. Now this one, we have to make sure this thing works first of all. Okay, cool. So what we can do now is we're going to take this wire.
Turn it off first before we cut into it.
Let's turn that off. I'm not cutting the wire, I'm going to make it so we can go open it up. So we'll split it like this. Okay. Now we should be able to take this and literally put it on here and it'll pull some back. See that? Pull some back there. So that gives us an exposed area. Now we'll do the same thing.
Hit it.
Okay, restart.
Nope.
Alright, now we will check our 2 wires. Okay, so you can see we don't have a negative on there. So the one on my right is the hot. So let's show people, switch those around and it shows you a negative. So then way you know which one's positive and you're touching them. So alright, so put it back the other way. Let's just double check and make sure we don't touch these together. Okay, so this is our hot, so let's cut this. Turn it off. We'll cut this. We're gonna put Alright, so now we have our inverter, the end of the wire. We're going to take the one that we folded over. We're going to just test this real quick before we make it right. So that'll be our hot. Let's cut our ground. A little snip there. Okay. Put our ground together. So we've eliminated the battery box. Alright, go ahead and plug that in. And voila. There we go.
Nice and great.
It's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
So then now, should this lady be able to just use this all the time with no batteries? Let's make this connection right. Okay, you want to unplug that? Alright, so let's do one of these at a time. And what I have are these connectors with no plastic on them. Okay, a couple pieces of shrink tube. We'll put that on first. Curl that over. Put our end down there, scrunch this down. This wire is really thin coming out of this side, so I'm going to make a longer piece and double it up, flip it over again. And put these two together. Slide this over. Thin wire again, double this over, double it over again. Put our shrink tubing on. This connector on. Now, plug this in. She can have light all night long if she wants. Alright, pretty easy. No more batteries. Alright, last thing we're going to do is put a switch on this cord because there's no other way to really shut it off without unplugging it. So, this was about $3 at the hardware store. Take that apart. I've already got this separated, so, and it's unplugged. Cut one side. This side will get looped through the top. Alright, since these wires are so small, I had to smash them in there with a pair of pliers, kind of like this. So you cut one side, leave do the other side together. Put this back together. Okay, I'm going to put a little dab of hot glue in here just to keep these together. And that's it. Alright, so that's the last thing we had to do. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.